US and UK bombers only needed to be lowered by 0.3 or 0.7, while the German ones need to only 0.3 raises. I've never, I don't know where this comes from either. I've actually said that the BR changes don't do anything. The BR changes to these bombers don't matter. The thing that matters to the HE-177 and what makes it great, and also the B-29, is their altitude. The altitude that they spawn at. Same with the ME-264. This whole video, where is it? This whole video is advocating for the ME-264 to lose its high altitude bomber spawn, and for it instead to get the normal medium bomber spawn instead of the long range altitude spawn that it gets. That's not changing its BR. That's not changing its repair cost. That's just giving it a lower altitude spawn. That's it. I don't know where any of that came from. See, that's the thing. Like, all of this, none of this is true. And you can go and see this comment yourself. It is on the Reddit thread. As I said, I don't want to point to it because I don't want to attack people. Defending the repair cost of Allied bombers, as I said, I understand why they exist. I can still disagree with it. So the next one. Sounds pretentious as fuck, even though he's just a neckbeard. People who like posh, cunt, British, Brit twats always sound like Supreme Spurgs. Reddit, Gentleman Gamer, Tips Top Hat, Monocle, blah, blah, blah. Right. I've got rid of the neckbeard, even though I think it was Reaper who came up with the European neckbeard, and I think that's a great nickname. So I actually had it as a thing on Reddit, but it seems to have gone away, so I need to redo that. But the other stuff, I don't sound posh. Like, have you met posh people? Like, really posh people. Like, we're talking about like 1%ers. Have you ever watched Downton Abbey? Or have you ever watched anything like that? Yes, I have definitely not where my roots are of my voice. My roots being in in Yorkshire, in the Yorkshire dialect. But I'm not posh. This is not a posh accent. This is, as I said before, an accent which has been crafted so people understand what I'm saying. And if people like listening, to maybe slightly middle to upper class accents, that's what I'm going to go with, so I can do my job. And I don't mean YouTube, I just mean like the stuff I actually do in real life. Because if I can't get my message across to people, then, what's going to happen? I'm probably going to get fired. I'll probably, lose my livelihood and stuff. And I don't want that, especially because I enjoy what I do. So the small concession of having to put on an accent is completely fine to me, even though it doesn't feel natural. And yes, I do agree, certain times it does sound a bit weird. Not posh, though. He also said that the T-34-100 and the German T-34 are bad tanks. He thinks how much of a skilled tanker he is, but he's terrible in tanks. So let's break this down into two. The T-34-100 I do think is a bad vehicle. If we look at the options for premiums around it, rank 4 of the Soviet premiums is really bad. It's not good unless you look outside of it. So the IS-6, which is outside of the GE group, that's a great vehicle, still good, still well armored. Not as good as it used to be, but it's very noob friendly. T-55AM, one of the best 8.7 premiums, not because of its speed or not because of its gun, but basically because of its armor. And it's great against stock vehicles. You can batter anything from 7.7 to 8.7. When you get up tiered, yeah, you have a few issues. So in my opinion, the T-34-100 has too many drawbacks. Its gun depression is not good. Its reload rate is really long for what you get. And also, its armor is lackluster. So for me, I don't think it's a good vehicle for a premium. I would much rather say to people, get the IS-6, get the T55, or get another vehicle. The German T-34, I never said was bad. I said the lineup that you can build around it is not good. There's a difference there, you see. The German T-34 is a good vehicle, but the lineup around it is not very good. So when we're talking about ground realistic, where you can't just look at the individual vehicle, you have to look at the lineup that you're doing around it. I'm going to discuss the lineup as well, right? So the individual German T-34, good vehicle. As a lineup with everything else around it, it's not very good. Simple as. There are better machines which fit better homogeneously. Would that be the word? Yeah, sure. With the other vehicles in the lineup. The next point, I've actually said to the contrary a lot. So he thinks how much of a skilled player he is, but he's terrible in tanks. So my opinion of my skill is I'm a below average tanker, and I'm a pretty good pilot. When it comes to naval, I don't really see the game mode to be inherently full of skill. I can point and click pretty well. I kind of understand positioning on it, but I'm still learning. So I'd probably say I'm about average at naval. So tanks, I think I'm subpar. I think I'm below average on tanks. Planes, I think I'm slightly above average. That's it. I don't think I'm a crazy skilled player in either regard. I never have. There's a lot of people I talk to, a lot of people I'm friends with, who are incredibly good players in War Thunder. Incredibly good. I am nowhere near their level. And I never will be. I've never claimed to be a crazy skilled player. What I claim to be is a person who talks about the game. And that's it. And now we get to the follow-up question, which isn't on the notepad list, but will be asked, because this was also asked on the Reddit thread. Well, if you aren't very good, why should I listen to your opinion? You don't have to. Nobody's paying you. Nobody's forcing you. That's the beauty of the internet. You can just walk away. It's great, isn't it? It's like a monkey off your back. You can just go like, oh, there's a video from a person I don't like. Oh wait, I don't have to watch it. Goodbye. Like it's as simple as that. You know? So yeah. There's not much else I can say about that. I think I'm a subpar tanker and a slightly above average aircraft pilot. There's a lot of better content creators out there at these skills. Jengar is one of the, or if not the best aerialistic pilots that I've seen and played with. And when it comes to ground vehicles, there are a ton of other people who are way better than me at the game. The next one. I don't like him because he's condescending to his viewers. Elitism incarnate. No. I don't think so. I don't think... So, right. So this is a problem. I've definitely seen this problem before. And I think it's going to be a problem going forward. And it's the way that I address things. So, how do I put this? I'm a scientist when it comes to my trade. I grew up in a very science household. I went to school for mainly science and maths. I went to university and I studied chemistry and physics, right? Everything in my world, when explaining stuff, you need your points, you need evidence, and you need it expanding, right? But you also need to be direct. So when it comes to specific issues, especially addressing specific topics, it can sound incredibly harsh where I'm coming from, but you get the point, right? And this is definitely an issue I've run into not just in work life, but also personal life, where there could have been a lot of situations where I approached things differently. And unfortunately, I didn't and went a different way and was much more direct about it and probably made some situations worse. But for me, in a situation where I'm trying to get either education through or trying to get points across or trying to get my opinion out there or why I think stuff happens, it is much better to be direct, and it is much better instead of using flowery language and instead of dressing it up and being a little bit wishy-washy about it. It's much better to just tell people what you think alongside with all of the context with it, because it means that you are less up to interpretation. And once you're up for interpretation, you get comments like this one, where I just can't remember saying any of that, apart from maybe, the top one, the top bit. So, yeah, that's the issue. And when it comes to the audience, so nobody is subject to criticism. I am nobody is adverse, or nobody should be put away from criticism. Everybody should be up for criticism, no matter who you are. And one of the things I saw, which was this one. So massive economy reductions are here. This was on the 23rd of April, 2019. A ton of people were incredibly happy. I was also incredibly happy. We got massive reductions when it came to top tier research, when it came to top tier SL costs. Everything was looking great. You know what people focused on? Some slight repair costs that went up. It was like watching the true essence of pessimism at work. So you had 99.9999999% incredibly happy. And then you have incredibly positive. And then you have the 0.00001%, which was not so good for the average person. So 99.9% of the content, the economy reductions were great for the average player. 0.01% was not great, and everybody decided to focus on the 0.1%. So I made a video talking about battling the vocal minority, and it was going through comments that I'd seen talking about basically bringing up the minutia points that was negative in the way of rewards for the community compared to the overwhelming positive, right? Because I think it's insane. I think if you're presented with a situation where you have 99.9% of stuff being good, but for that to be good, you need to live with the 0.01% of bad, you take that trade every day of the week. But some people don't. Some people are just not happy that it's not 100%, even though it doesn't make it feasible to be that. So I believe that everybody is open to criticism when it comes to Gaijin, when it comes to me, when it comes to anyone. Like literally anyone. Everybody has to be open to it, and everybody needs to be able to deal with it, which is basically what I'm doing here. Tech has that pretentious, condescending laugh that all pseudo-intellectuals seem to have, especially when he is chuckling at his own lame jokes. Now, I will say that is an issue. For some reason, I don't know why, but over the last few months, there is like this little giggle or something I do every once in a while, and I don't like it, and I don't know why I do it. So I definitely agree that it's maybe not like this huge problem, but it is definitely something that's there. It's kind of weird that it's there, and it needs to go away. It may be the fact that I'm talking to a screen for an hour and a half, discussing things. That may be a bit of an issue. Maybe that's why I'm going a little bit insane in the membrane. But the main thing is, I agree with you, it is bad. Let's get rid of the random laugh that's there every once in a while, and I'll try and work to get rid of that. The next one is this guy's basically a level 50 player who got picked up by Gaijin to become the biggest shill imaginable, yet he thinks he's some skilled player with 100% valid opinions. I don't think I have 100% valid opinions because I don't always have 100% of the evidence, or I don't have 100% of the reasoning behind stuff, right? Also, I don't think I'm a crazy skilled player. We talked about that before. I think at best, I'm a subpar tanker. I'm an over par pilot. When it comes to the level 50 thing, here's me talking about the content partnership program and joining it, and I was approached to join it, in 2017. So what I did was I made a video about it, made a video about my intentions, made a video about how I'd publicly accepted it and all of this, and to make sure that people knew going forward that I would make sure that in every video it would say at the start of it that I was part of this program, and that was going to be a staple, which will never change, by the way, no matter how many times you make fun of it, because I believe that it is correct for individuals to know that I do have not really a vested interest in what's going on, but that it can be seen as me being biased. So you can, have a go at me as much as you want for being ethical. That's fine. I'll just take that on the chin every time. But anyway, this is a video for the 22nd of May 2017, when I accepted going into the program. This is a video from the 25th of February 2017, where, as you can see, I was a level 100 before that. So yeah, I've been a level 100 for an incredibly long time in War Thunder. I played the game for 6 years, so yeah, it would be kind of weird still being a level 50. Now, you can see even back then I had 12.7 million lions, and that was what, two and a half years ago. I'm now to 24, so I'm happy about that. I've worked very hard for that. So the next point, I don't fucking get why he stretches videos like that out, and somebody responded with ad revenue. I stretch them out because I like talking. I like... Do people say to, I don't know, Joe Rogan, why are your podcasts 3 hours long? Or can't you make them shorter? Can't you just do bullet points? Or, can you make a 2-minute video going over stuff? Well, yeah, I could, but I don't want to. And I think that's the laugh that we're talking about, by the way. That needs to go. But the fact is, I don't stretch stuff out. I don't try and push stuff because it's actually detrimental to me to do it. If you don't know, the way that YouTube is set up, everybody tries to hit the 10-minute mark. You will see a lot of content creators out there who will make videos between the 10 and 20 minutes time frame, mainly just over 10 minutes. The reason for this is because if you run a 10-minute video, you can put mid-roll ads on your video. So you can have, but if you have a 9-minute 59 video, you can't run mid-roll ads. So a lot of people will hit the 10-minute mark, and then they will make and then they will make another video for 10 minutes, and then 10 minutes and 10 minutes. 10 minutes is like the gold standard for YouTube. Not an hour, not an hour and a half, not 20, not 40, not 50. Because you actually get punished for making longer forms of content because of that fact. If I split this video up here, which I believe is about an hour and 10 long, if I split that into 7 videos, which would be the most efficient when it comes to YouTube, people would constantly say that I am trying to do it for ad revenue. But right now, to say that I've created this video here for ad revenue is insane. There are much better ways for me as an individual to make money than do this. I already do those things. YouTube is not my day job. YouTube is an extra thing I do on top of things, so I get to talk about the stuff I'm passionate about. And I get to be involved in a community that I have really enjoyed being part of for 5 years. So I really don't like people saying I do it for money, because it's not true. I would have a completely different approach if I did it for money. I would be a lot more efficient. I would change the way I do content completely. But you don't see me doing that. You see me doing the same stuff overall, with my, a decent little community. But there are much better ways of doing it if that's what you're focused on. And you see it all the time. So yeah, that one always hurts a little bit. Because it kind of goes against the character of the person. It's in a way, I don't like how the world is set up right now, with the fact that everybody is very money focused. I've never been that. I don't like it. I want enough money to live. I want enough money to support my family and everything else. Maybe it's nice to make a little bit of money off your hobbies, but I'd rather just enjoy it. And that's what I do here. I don't do any of this for money. There are much better ways of me making money. The next thing is his videos are the only thing that puts me to sleep faster than forensic files. Well, as I've said before, if you want to use them as a sleeping aid, go ahead. The reason I speak slow is so people who aren't English speakers can understand what I'm saying. The reason why I have a monotone is because I've always had one, and I don't want to be fake. I can do, the voice. I can do the voice that you hear from all YouTubers, What's up, guys? Here we go. We're in for another video. Look at this wonderful plane, Spitfire F Mark 14E. We're going to take it out and we're going to show to the world that it is the best plane ever. And then you do like a title, which is like, is this the best thing since Jesus rode on the waves? Question mark, exclamation mark. And then, you put hashtag rumor, or, is this the new Swedish tech tree? Hashtag rumor. Like, it's easy to do. Massively easy to do. But you don't see me doing any of that. So instead, I just be myself. Apart from the accent. But maybe the accent is just becoming me, which is even more terrifying when when I actually think about it. But yeah, it's I don't mind if it puts people to sleep. Maybe that's better. Maybe we can, solve some sleeping pill addictions. That would be a positive thing. So overall, I hope I've answered the stuff which is levied against me. The main point I do want to put across is this, and something to think about. Critical thinking is not just about representing one side of an issue. It is about representing both sides and then coming to a conclusion at the end, which is normally somewhere in a grey area. That's what I try and do. If I fail about it, I apologize, but that is what I strive for. Everything else, I hope I've answered good enough. If anyone has any follow-up points or wants to discuss specific things, as I said, I'm not interested really in going over any of these topics again, because I'm seeing this as putting them to bed. But if you want to, I will always be available on the Tech Hub Discord if you want to chat. And also, we have the Fireside Chat series, which is designed so I can talk to the community and people from it. If I was being condescending to my viewers, I wouldn't have them on Fireside Chats. I wouldn't talk to them in the Tech Hub Discord. I wouldn't interact with them. I don't see my community as stupid. I don't see anyone as stupid. I see them as intelligent. I see them as open to discussion. And I'm always willing to listen to whatever people have to say. And I hope my actions on stuff like the Tech Hub Discord and my actions on other platforms have shown that to people. And if not, I need to do better at it. And I will do. Think about all the other YouTubers in this space. Who is the easiest to reach? You can DM me. You can talk to me on Discord. You can talk to me in a live setting on Fireside Chats. You can set up video ideas. You can do all these things. I'm open to all of them, and I do them every day. What else do you want? Anyway, as I said, I hope I answered everything, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. It's been a good weekend. It's going to be a good week. By the way, just as a last thing, the authentic decals got pushed back to August. I'll just make sure to find it here for you so I'm not spreading misinformation. Let's see. Here we go. So they have actually extended this until the 2nd of August. So it looks like Op Summer has also been pushed back to the 2nd of August. We'll see though. No, you never know when it comes down to us. But anyway, that's the last bit of information. Hope you all have a wonderful day and, well, enjoy yourselves. I'd just like to thank Ambrosius McClellan, B. Young, Blackie, Daniel Stanton, John Ryman, Martinez, Moxie, Alobralo, Super Cacti, Grisvolk, E-Love Goats, and Seductive Trash Can for supporting the channel.